them on. First thing you're going to want to do is take the battery cover off, because we've got to disconnect the airbag. We want there to be no power whatsoever. Just take a 10mm, take the power lead off. Tuck it out of the way, wait a couple of minutes. You want to pull this steering wheel, release it, pull the lever down, pull the steering wheel all the way out and down. So we're going to take this trim off. It's just clipped in. Take a trim tool, gently pop it down the side. Once you've got one side off, just go to the other side. Lift this piece all the way off. Now that you've got this bit unclipped, this bit here, just grab it, forefinger and thumb, pull it towards yourself, and you pull the whole lot out. Now we can turn our steering wheel, and then you're going to want to use a mirror and a torch so you can then see the back side in, but I'm going to do it, and then I'm just going to show you how to do it on the bench. Removal. Those are your retainers. So you just need to put a flat blade across it, push it all the way in, do the same on the other side, push it all the way in, and that then has released the airbag. You'll feel it pop up a little bit, and then that's out. So you're literally just pushing in these two flaps so that they're no longer on these hooks. So pull the airbag off. You got a little terminal connection here, so you just want to grab that, give it a bit of a wiggle, pop it off. Got another one here, grab that, give it a little wiggle. Now you're just left with this airbag connection. So you have to lift that up. You can use your fingernail or just with a little flat blade. Just gently get underneath it. That fully releases it, and then you can just grab it, give it a bit of a wiggle, and she comes off. Carry your airbag like this. Put it somewhere safe so it can't get knocked or explode. Now you're going to disconnect this electrical connector, so you want to pull the wiring down. And you can just see the little release tang there. Just pull it down, give the connector a wiggle. It's a bit tight, and just flip it out of the way like that. Now we can take the center bolt out. Grab the wheel, give it a little bit of a wiggle. Feed that airbag wire through. Now this clock spring, you don't want it to rotate. You want it to stay in exactly the same spot for when you put it back on. Just grab some masking tape, stick it over the top bit. Just means if it gets knocked, it doesn't spin round. So now we're going to take the buttons out. So T20 screwdriver, screw there, screw there, screw there, screw there. Just pull them out. So now we're going to be pulling this up, but the loom is just tucked in here, so you just want to gently pull it up and just release it, just from those rubber bits. Don't yank on it real hard, just release it like that. And then these, they can be a bit stiff, but you basically got to kind of like wiggle them up. You might find a little flat blade or like a trim tool quite useful for that. Obviously you don't want to indent the leather and permanently mark it. You lift it up and out the way like that. And that's our buttons free. Alright, so now this bit's carbon and the new wheel, so we've got to release this and swap the buttons over. There's a Phillips screw in each side, so just take those out. Now, this next bit's the most fiddly bit in the whole job. You basically got to release the tangs all the way around without breaking any of them. They can be a bit stubborn, so just take your time with it. They will unclip. Oh. So, sorry, this sticker right here is actually a clip. You can just see it there, and the sticker kind of hides it. So if you're struggling to get it off, remember there's a clip right there. And then she pops off. So we're going to keep the buttons, but we're not going to use this. Now you just want to pop these in. They, again, are a little bit fiddly. You just got to persevere with it. So with this one here, it tends to get caught on there. So you want to offer it in, hook this bit underneath, and then basically make sure that you're tucking that bit underneath there, and then just wiggle it in. And that side's now in. With this bit, again, it's got a tang there, so you've got to hook it in, and basically slide it down and in. Pop your 4 screws back in, and just tuck the wiring back into the gaps. Sometimes that can be a bit stiff just because obviously the wiring is quite thick and it is rubber, so you just want to kind of open it up a bit at one side. Once you get the wiring sorted, it's tempting to just jab it with a screwdriver, but you risk damaging the wiring. So there you go. Perfect. Now you can go refit it to the car. Take your tape off the top spring. Take that airbag wire, feed it through first. Put your steering wheel on there. You're going to want to put some new thread lock on this bolt, tighten it up, and torque it with a torque wrench. Reconnect our horn switch, and then our airbag one. So it's up to you whichever one you want to do first. You can't mix the horn switch ones up because one's smaller than the other. So small, big, that's it. And now with our airbag one, there's a line there, and that will correspond with the line in there. So you can only put this in one way, you can't get it wrong. Push it all the way in, push the orange clip in, give it a wiggle, check that it doesn't come out. Easiest part of the whole job, line the airbag up. That's it. Just check that that moves. That's how you know it's fully engaged. We're going to refit our top piece back on. So we're going to fit this bit back in. But before I clip this in, I just want to show you. There's a little hook there, and there's one on the other side. This bit here, that has to go into it. So don't just try and click it in. It has to slide in first. So you take the front bit, you line it up, that just clicks in. So remember, that bit has to hook into something at the back. So you want to fold the material up, slide it down, try and lift it up at the back. If it doesn't lift up, then it's hooked in. Then you can then line the rest of this up, and that bit will click in. And then do the same with the other side. Once that's all clicked in, fold that back in, pull your lever down, set your steering wheel back to the height that you like it at, and we'll go reconnect the battery. So pull the lead back on, done.